why modern dating is a broken game, and why most players lose. If you're a guy, chances are you're grinding solo in the dating game with little to no loot drops. You get ghosted during mission planning, and the chat log becomes a mini-game of keeping a player online that never wants to team up. On the flip side, if you're a woman, the challenge isn't matchmaking or attention, it's sifting through an endless horde of low-rank NPCs, offering little XP. Quantity is maxed, but quality is rare loot. And when a high-level player does spawn in your lobby, he's usually either AFK or not even interested in running the long-term campaign, just looking to hop in for a quick side quest. These aren't random glitches. This is bad game design, core mechanics that create imbalance across the entire dating meta. In this video, I'll show you that these pain points are predictable outcomes of a fundamentally broken system. The dating arena works like any in-game marketplace. Players trade value, stats, and perks. And like any market, it should reward fair play and strategy. But I've identified 3 broken mechanics or market failures that make dating frustrating for most players. These bugs in the system lead to outcomes that nerf the experience for both men and women. Let's walk through these 3 failures, starting with the biggest one: inequality, an unfair matchmaking system. Imagine a leaderboard where the top 10% of players get nearly all the wins, while the bottom 50% are stuck in bronze rank, queuing endlessly for a match. That's the dating app meta. Using the Lorenz curve, think of it as an in-game stat graph for resource distribution, we can see how unbalanced this lobby is. In an ideal matchmaking system, 50% of the players would get 50% of the action, 70% would get 70%, etc. But here's how it really looks on the dating battlefield. Using Tinder as our data server, the top 10% of male players score 58% of all likes. Meanwhile, the bottom 50%, they scrape by with just 4.3%. It's more unbalanced than the gold income distribution in MMOs like World of Warcraft or even the US economy. Yes, female players face their own matchmaking challenges. Top-tier women get 45% of all likes, but the bottom 50% of women still get almost double the engagement of their male counterparts. In PvP terms, below-average women can still queue into matches regularly, while below-average men are stuck in the loading screen. This system rewards only the elite, leaving the average and low-ranked players stuck grinding indefinitely with no progress. 2. Asymmetric information, deceptive character sheets. Now let's talk about another core mechanic failure: asymmetric information, fog of war on your co-op partner's stats. Imagine buying a top-tier item in a trade hub, low usage, high stats, priced way below market value. You think you've scored a legendary item. Then after using it for a few quests, it breaks. Turns out it was forged. The real stats were hidden. Durability nerfed, hidden debuffs, mislabeled level requirement. You feel scammed. Now imagine that's your dating experience. In modern dating, players often disguise or inflate their stats. A woman may hide her past player history, like being a serial team swapper or rage quitter, and there's no in-game report to verify it. You think you found a reliable squad mate, only to realize after dozens of co-op missions and spent resources, she's not who she claimed to be. Same goes for men. Some deploy stealth builds to avoid detection, like this dating coach who tells men how to exploit game dialogue. He says, never reveal you're a casual player looking for short-term quests. Instead, use vague responses like assess leveling slowly, seeing where the game goes. This keeps the relationship-seeking woman from alt-F4ing immediately. It's deception-based gameplay, exploit the dialogue tree, bait the player, then ghost. This creates a toxic meta where honesty is punished and bluffing is rewarded. Long-term players become jaded and stop queuing, ruining the game for everyone else. It's not just bad etiquette, it's a broken mechanic that benefits exploiters while ruining immersion and trust for the rest. 3. Tragedy of the Commons, resource drain by elite players. Lastly, we have the tragedy of the commons, a classic endgame problem where the top-tier players monopolize limited resources. Think of the dating pool like an in-game mana spring. All players in town rely on it to recharge and keep playing. But if 10% of the players tap into it relentlessly, running multiple instances at once, hogging every spawn, it dries up. This is what's happening when a few top-rank guys date multiple women simultaneously. It's not PvE anymore, it's resource hoarding. Modern dating has become a zero-sum game. If one guy parties up with a girl, that's one less player available in the queue. This wouldn't be an issue if the system enforced balanced party limits, like monogamy once did historically. But those rules have been patched out of the game, and now we're seeing a return to imbalance. Elite players hoarding all the co-op runs, while the rest idle in matchmaking purgatory. This isn't sustainable. Even ancient civilizations knew this. That's why they introduced one-to-one pairing laws, to stop the power players from monopolizing the game world. The dating game needs a balance patch. The dating meta suffers from broken matchmaking, extreme inequality, exploit culture, asymmetric information, and resource drain tragedy of the commons. All three issues are classic market failures, but in game terms, they're balance issues that make the system unfun for most players. Maybe one day I'll drop a patch notes video with potential solutions to rework the meta. But for now, keep hoping and of course, keep grinding. Peace out.